Paulie, what attracted you to this project, Ultimate Boxer?
I'm passionate about boxing. I've been involved in boxing all my life. So, if you're passionate about boxing, you're passionate about the fighters, you're passionate about the boxers, and this is something that where the product is not just something exciting for the fans of short fights, explosive, dynamic fights, but it's also exciting for young prospects who maybe have flown below the radar and are looking for the opportunities to be able to, be seen in front of the proper eyes, in front of the eyes that count, in front of the eyes that can probably give them deals, in front of the eyes that can get excited about them, There's a lot of untapped talent in boxing, just like there's a lot of untapped talent in anything else in the world, So it's about giving that talent the opportunity to be seen, and I really can appreciate something like this because it gives fighters who may have had talent but maybe been hopeless to be seen, now they've got that hope back.
So that's what attracted you to them, to give them the opportunity to showcase themselves.
Yes, because I know what it's like to be a prospect, and I know what it's like to have that hunger to want everybody to know you, and I want everybody to know how good you are, and want everybody to have the opportunity to be seen and really be talked about in the proper context so that your career can blossom on its own. And sometimes these guys don't get that, even though they do have the talent, and sometimes these guys don't get that because they can't get themselves in front of the proper people to be seen in the proper way, And so Ultimate Boxer kind of circumvents that. There are fighters that get the deals. There are fighters that, Olympians and national amateur champions and whatnot, they will get the deals, they will get the opportunities in front of the big promoters. But then there's also some other talent, untapped talent, that maybe has a harder time getting seen, has a harder time getting noticed, but they do have talent. I'm not saying everybody does, but some of these guys do have talent. And I think the first two Ultimate Boxers has really shown that. I think the first two Ultimate Boxer shows we did have shown that there is some talent out there that was flying below the radar, and when people saw it, they were impressed by it. I know I was impressed by some of the talent there. So I think we'll continue to do that, and that sort of helps these guys.
Some would say we're at a golden era where boxing really is booming now. Popularity has never been, it's sky high. However, there are people out there who would say what frustrates them is the best are not fighting the best. I understand, people have to pay their bills, but I'm talking like the welterweight scene. Can you shed some light on that? Talk to us about it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's politics in any business, and of course, the booming thing about the business is also one of the things that stops things from happening. The booming thing is so many different TV networks are involved in boxing right now. The most since I've seen in my adult life, for sure, But of course, having all these TV networks involved means they all have their own separate contracts and deals. So what happens? It's hard for guys to jump over and fight a fighter who has a different deal with a different network, So one of the things that makes boxing exciting at the moment is also the same thing that's making boxing frustrating at the moment. You have to appreciate what you got, but sometimes you can't have all the things all the time.
Now, we had someone like Mike Tyson, who one of the greatest heavyweights. He fought anyone who put in front of him. He didn't let TV deals disturb him. He fought everyone. Do you think the elite boxers now owe it to their fans who pay to watch them to make sure this is done?
Yeah, Mike Tyson fought everyone, but of course it had to come in the proper time. When I remember when I was young, people talking about Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks. The fight didn't happen for a while. People were talking about. Let's face it, Spinks beat Holmes in about '85. Tyson became the WBC heavyweight champion in '86. Yet the Spinks fight didn't happen until summer of '88. So things still have to sometimes develop and figure things out. There's also, like I said, more TV networks involved, and when there's more TV networks involved than before, there's a lot more fighters with different deals, and those are the kind of deals which, yes, protect the fighters, but they also give you the opportunity to see these fighters more often, right? So you have to appreciate that. But at the same time, it becomes tougher to circumvent those deals.
What are your thoughts about the heavyweight scene with all the boxers signed up to various TV companies, and now when it appears we're not going to get the rematch between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in the immediate future?
Everybody. The thing about being a big name player in the division is that you want to make sure you have your own deal, right? I mean, that's sort of the be all end all. When you have your own deal, everybody has to come to you, and you don't have to go to them. I think Fury felt he won the fight against Wilder. I think one of the reasons he probably didn't get it is because he wasn't the one with the deal. Wilder was the one with the deal, And so I think Fury looked at it like, hey, you know what? I want to go and I want to get my own deal to where I have the protection necessary as well. The big three are the big three. Yeah, Wilder, Joshua, and Fury, and they're tremendous fighters, and you hope that they can all get in the ring with each other. But of course, they do have their own deals for a reason. Having said that, this isn't the Klitschko era where Vladimir was so much better than everybody else that it was on non-competitive. There's still other competitors in the heavyweight division to where they can make things fun. You have Luis Ortiz, you have Dillian White, you have Kubrat Pulev. You have guys that can still get in the ring with these guys and make this fun. You have Alexander Usyk, who's about to come into the heavyweight division. So I think there's still opportunities for other fighters to get involved with these three guys. and it still present risk fights. But hopefully, in the end, like eventually we did get the Tyson Spinks fight. In the end, hopefully we'll get the fights between any of these three guys again.
Now, one of the weight divisions which is probably most exciting at the moment, which you happen to be involved in at one time or the other, is the welterweight scene. We saw a fight at the weekend with Mikey Garcia, who went up 2 weights to fight Errol Spence. What were your thoughts on that fight?
I was very obviously appreciate Mikey for taking the chance and giving the fans a spectacle to be seen. But Errol was just class above. It was really amazing to watch him not just outfight Mikey, but also outbox Mikey early on, kind of to prove a point. And really, Errol showed his class on Saturday night.
We have some other welterweights there, like Keith Thurman. We have Terence Crawford. Would you like to see them face each other and face Errol Spence, who some people are saying is a very, very good boxer?
Yeah, of course. You hope that you can really intermatch them all eventually. Now there's talk about Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao as well. So hopefully you can intermingle all the fighters and they can match up against each other. And I think some of those fights will be easier to make than others, depending on the contract TV deals. But hopefully you see at least some of them made.
If I were to ask you in the last 12 months, what's the best fight you've seen? Which one would it be? Be it one you called or one you watched?
I don't know. There's probably a couple different ones. I mean, last year I was part of the Jared Hurd and Ruslan De Lara fight. That was a great fight. I watched Oscar Valdez and Scott Quigg fight each other. That was really, really fun. There's probably more than I'm. Got Murat Gassiev and Dorticos. That was a really terrific fight in the World Boxing Super Series. And those are just the ones that are top of my head. I mean, honestly speaking, really, really good boxing fights are not that rare as people think. You just have to watch it consistently, and you will get several per year. And some of them are better than others. Not everyone is a barn burner, but those three jump at me off the top of my head.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.